back to my page. As you can see in this title, we are talking about the Blackout Bestseller list that is going on this week. Let's black out that bestseller list, you guys. And if you don't know what that means that we are trying to buy at least, if you can afford it, at least 2 books by Black authors so that the bestseller list will be blacked out, basically. It will be all Black authors, and that is what I did this week. I bought 4, actually, so I got my grandma to give me a gift card for my birthday, late for my birthday. My birthday was June 4th, and originally I'd asked her to get me a fitness tracker, but that didn't happen yet. We were still going to discuss it, so I called her and was like, hey, Grandma, instead of giving me a fitness tracker, will you give me an Amazon gift card? And my grandma's super sassy, like me. And she was like, girl, let's wait past your birthday. And I was like, yeah, but we're still supposed to discuss it, Grandma. She's like, I'll think about it. I was like, will you get it for me tonight? She's like, no, please, Grandma, no. And when she says it like that, I know she means business. I was like, okay, fine. So she sent me one today for $25. So I got 4 books total, 2 from her, and I got 2 myself. I got Not So Pure and Simple by Lamar Giles, I believe is how you say it, Lamar Giles. Black Leopard, Red Wolf by Marlon James, and that is the first book in his Dark Star trilogy. Grown by Tiffany D. Jackson, and Cinderella is Dead by Kaylin Bayron. And so, Not So Pure and Simple is a teen YA romance, and it is about this guy named Dell who has been crushing on this girl named Kiera since they've been in kindergarten, and he finally sees an opportunity to go for her junior year of high school. She decides to volunteer at the church, so he decides to volunteer at the church too because she's finally single. He can finally swoop on in there. But he inadvertently, does a purity pledge, and I'm assuming it's probably a crap show after that because that's not what he meant to do, but that's what happened. And I'm really excited to read that one because it sounds super cute, and if you watched my last video, you know that I've gotten back into reading romance. So I'm really, really excited to read that one, and it is by a Black author. Again, that is Not Pure and Simple by Lamar Giles. And then, I keep forgetting the title. Black Leopard, Red Wolf, part of the Dark Star trilogy by Marlon James, is about, there's this guy named Tracker, and he is what he sounds like. He is a tracker. It is a fantasy book, just to say. He is the type of person who always works alone. That is like his number one rule, but he ends up breaking his rule and ends up working with this weird hodgepodge of different types of people and characters to try to find this mysterious boy that went missing 3 years ago. And one of those characters is this shape-shifting man animal named Leopard, and I am super excited to read this one. I have never read a fantasy by a Black author before, and I love fantasies. I know in my first video that I mentioned that I prefer stuff that is more magic, but I do love shape-shifting. I include that in my magic thing because that is magical to me. When I say I don't like creatures and stuff like that, I mean like big bears and dragons and stuff like that. I do find those interesting. It's just like I didn't read Game of Thrones and I didn't really watch the show. I want somebody who has powers and uses wands and I can change into an animal. Like if I could change into a cat right now, you bet I would do it on camera. But anyways, I can't, and I get that through books instead. So I bought Black Leopard, Red Star, Black Leopard, Red Wolf by Marlon James, and I get my magic through that because I'm not magical. And then I bought Grown by Tiffany D. Jackson, and after reading Monday's Not Coming, I know this one is going to rip my whole heart out. I cried for about 45 minutes when I read Monday's Not Coming. I listened to the audiobook. I maybe wouldn't have cried as much if I read it in paper. Maybe I would have cried more. But that's not what this book is about. This book is not about Monday. This book is about Enchanted. Enchanted is a woman or a teenager who wants to be a singer, and she is at this audition, and Corey Phillips, this legendary R&B singer, spots her, and that is going to be her key to stardom. But things turn south when she wakes up one day and she is covered in blood and Corey is dead, and we don't know who killed him. And there's a lot of things that are in between that. It goes back and forth from what I've heard from another video. So trigger warnings. It is supposed to be like a fictional retelling of everything that happened with R. Kelly. So just a fair warning on that. There is going to be rape and drugs and those kinds of things. So just to let you guys know that. I have not read it yet, but I did watch Ashley Bookish Realm's video on talking about it, and she gave a trigger warning. So I just want to go ahead and do that before you're like, ooh, that sounds up my alley. It is definitely not a book for the faint of heart. Like, when I said faint of heart in my last video about Heidi, I mean faint of heart for this is definitely triggering. And not just they you know, poke fun at dirty topics. No, this is hard-hitting stuff. If you've read any Tiffany D. Jackson books before, you'll know what I mean. If you haven't, go in expecting for it to be tough to read. And then the last book that I got is Cinderella is Dead by Kaylin Bayron. I'm not 100% sure how to say her name. I had never heard of this author before. I was looking up books to read, so I looked up on Twitter hashtag Blackout Bestseller list to just see what kind of books people were reading, and she's an author that popped up on there. This is a new release for her. I'm not 100% sure if this is her first book or not, but it's a new book of hers, a new book, new author that I discovered, and I really wanted to try it out. And the cover of the book is so beautiful. I will, of course, you know, put it up here. I'll put all of the books up here and in the description box. The cover caught my eye and the title caught my eye. But it is set 200 years after Cinderella's story has ended, and teen girls are required to go to this annual ball where men from the kingdom decide which ones they want to be their wives, and then the rest of the girls are just never heard from again. You know, they pick, you know, oh, that girl, she looks cool, I want her to be my wife, and then the rest of the girls, what happened to them? But Sophia, who is, I believe, 16 years old, she is in love with somebody else, and she doesn't want any part of this, so she flees. And she ends up in the mausoleum, Cinderella's mausoleum, and that is where the story progresses. And I'm super excited to get this one. It comes out July 7th, so I should get it sometime after that. And yeah, I definitely plan on reading this one. I think it can probably count for the F-a-thon that I'm going to read for the F capitalism, because, you know, they kind of are trying to take down the kingdom and this whole system that they're having where they basically auction off the wives. So those are the books that I got for the Blackout bestseller list, and I'm really excited to get them. And I will, when I do get them, I'll probably do a video and show you guys the books so you can see the covers live, because they're so beautiful. Some of them are really pretty. But I hope you guys are practicing self-care and taking care of yourself, living your best life, living my best life. And I hope you guys have a nice rest of your day, evening, late night, and happy reading. Bye, guys.